Hello friends, my name is Vikas.
So friends, we have an app by the name Careers Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. This app is a one-stop solution to all the students who are burning the midnight oil to grab a government job. If you can see, once you have downloaded the app, you can go and log in through the Gmail ID or your Google ID. Once you are logged in, you will be transferred to this page. Here you can see various options about the courses that you have purchased and various courses that are offered by Affairs Cloud. In our courses, we offer current affairs on daily basis, on monthly basis, on weekly basis in bilingual language, that is both in English as well as in Hindi. We provide you current affairs on daily basis, weekly basis and monthly basis. If you see closely here, we provide you current affairs in quiz formats. Daily 20 questions quiz will be provided to you. We will be providing you with PDF of current affairs of that particular day, and current affairs as well as the questions will be provided to you on the YouTube channel, on our Affairs Cloud YouTube channel, where you can go and revise the current affairs also. Similarly, for weekly, every week you will be provided with 50 questions quiz, questions current affair related to your MCQs of compiled of that particular week, as well as a PDF containing the compiled news, compiled articles of that particular week. And similar goes for your monthly, that you will be provided with whole compiled current affairs of that particular month. That will be very helpful to you, and you will be getting a top 100 question answers PDF of that particular month also. All this material will be provided to you in our courses, which you can go and check on the application. Similarly, as I told you, we are bilingual. We provide you both Hindi as well as English also. All the content that I mentioned earlier, that will be providing daily, weekly and monthly, they will be provided to you in English as well as in Hindi also. Apart from this, we also provide you content related to you banking awareness. So the content, the questions, the information which will be helpful to you in cracking your banking exams, we are the one-stop solution where you can come and refer our content. Apart from this, remember, we provide you topic wise PDFs, topic such as apps and web portals, national affairs, international affairs, sports, defense, apps and web portals, books, authors, obituaries, important days, all those topics. You know, these topics are highly important, and single question from each topic is definitely asked in your government exam. So we, on daily basis, on monthly basis, we cover all these topics so that you don't have to worry about the content.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. In today's video, we will be discussing important current affairs of 11th May. And as usual, I recommend all of you to make notes because they will be helpful to you. So do pay attention till the end. Let's start. First, India logs 6.2% hike in the death rate during 2022 session. I repeat, recently the Office of the Registrar General under the Ministry of Home Affairs have released an annual report. The name of that report is Vital Statistics of India based on the Civil Registration System 2020. This report was a compilation of the data on the registered deaths. Alright, it was based on registered deaths. It included births, it included infant deaths, and also remember, it was along with your sex wise, like based on male and female also. So separate data was also present in this Vital Statistics of India based on Civil Registration System report that was released by Office of the Registrar General. As per this report, it suggested that the registered birth has decreased from 2.4 crore in 2019 to 2.4 crore in the year 2022, showing a decrease of about 2.40%. I repeat, as per the report that was released by the Office of Registrar General, stated that the registered birth has decreased from 2.4 crore in 2019 to from 2.48 crore in 2019 to 2.42 crore in the year 2022. That showed a decrease in trend of birth in 2.4%. Then if we are talking about the registered deaths, the number has increased from 76.4 lakh in 2019 to 81.2 lakh in 2020. That showed an increase in the death by 6.2%. That means the total number of registered births are decreasing by 2.4%. that is 2.4%. And if we are talking about deaths, then deaths are increasing by 6.2% in the year 2020. Apart from this, remember Bihar saw the maximum increase in the death rate with 18.3%. So the question can be asked to you, which is the state that saw the highest number of deaths in the year 2022, in the year 2020? That was your Bihar. That was followed by Maharashtra and Assam. Then remember, out of the total registered deaths, the share of the male is about, if we are talking about male death, it is around 60.2%, and if we are talking about female death, it is around 39.8%. If I ask you a question now, which country recently launched affordable connectivity program to provide subsidies on the internet services to lower income households? I repeat. So it is an important question. I repeat, affordable connectivity program. Affordable connectivity program. It was launched by United States of America to provide subsidies on internet services to lower income households. So the correct option is United States of America. It has been announced that 20 internet companies has agreed to provide discounted services to the people with low income households. So coming back to the topic once again, if we revise, if we are talking about India, India has registered a 6.2% hike in the death rate during 2020. Also, it saw a decline in the birth rate, registered birth rates by 2.4% during the same time period. And if we are talking about the state that has stopped in the maximum increase in the death rate, it is your Bihar, followed by Maharashtra and Assam. And if we are talking about male, saw a death rate of 60.2% and female about 39.8%. Next we are talking about Green Health Alliance. What is Green Health Alliance? What are the impact of it? So we'll be discussing here. All right, the Catalyst Group, a social enterprise platform, has announced the establishment of Green Health Alliance in New Delhi, that is your GHA. Remember this, I repeat, Catalyst Group, a social enterprise platform, along with USAID. What is USAID? It stands for United States Agency for International Development, and the Rockefeller Foundation. They together are forming a Green Health Alliance. This alliance will work on identifying and scaling up solutions to help reduce the health system carbon footprint. What is carbon footprint and how it impacts us? Carbon footprint is basically any industry, or you can say when we are generating energy, then the amount of carbon released is your carbon footprint, and this carbon affects your environment, it harms your environment. So in order to reduce this carbon footprint in the specifically health sector, this Green Health Alliance was launched by the Catalyst Group along with USAID and Office of the PSA. What is PSA? Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. Alright, apart from this, remember Rockefeller Foundation was also a part of it. So basically three organization you need to remember. First, it was a USAID. Second, it was your Office of the PSA, and along with the Catalyst Group. So these three you have to remember. And what was the reason of this General Health Alliance that was launched by this Catalyst Group along with USAID and Office of PSA? The reason was to reduce the health system's carbon footprint, and so to mitigate the negative health effects on the climate change. This Green Health Alliance will integrate private and public sector expertise to build strong and resilient health ecosystems through affirmative climate actions. Next we are talking about World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum and Niti Aayog are together focusing on emerging technologies to benefit small and marginal farmers. I repeat, in order to help small and marginal farmers, WEF, that is your World Economic Forum, in collaboration with Niti Aayog, is helping them. Remember this, they together, Niti Aayog and World Economic Forum, are focusing on better utilizing the emerging technologies. What are the emerging technologies? Such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, blockchain, that we know cryptocurrencies are based on blockchains, then the drones, and to benefit whom? Small and marginal farmers. All right, basically to help them, World Economic Forum along with Niti Aayog is helping to help the small benefit and to help or benefit the small and marginal farmers. Apart from this, remember Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution India of World Economic Forum. Recently on 23rd of January 2018, World Economic Forum announced the establishment of the Center of the Fourth Industrial Revolution in India at the annual meeting that was held in Switzerland. This move was to enhance the economy of small farmers. The WEF states three buckets of challenges, three categories of problems. They problems can be inclusivity, because small farmers lack credit history and women farmers lack the land holding. Both are limited in their access to credit and are obligated to borrow at higher rates from the bank, because if one is having land and he is not having capital to invest, then it is also a problem. But someone is having capital but does not have land, that is also one of the problems. So first problem is your inclusivity. Think, all right. Then apart from this, second is your sustainability. How sustainability? Because farmers, in addition to dealing with floods, utilize excess fertilizers, excess of insecticides, and excess of water, all of which are less sustainable. Third, efficiency. Farmer face a 40% post harvest wastage. I repeat, third problem of this is efficiency. The total produce, out of the total produce, 40% of the produce is wasted after the harvest. So these are some of the problems, and to take care of these farmers, to take care of these problems, in 2018 also a Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution in India was launched by World Economic Forum, and recently which two organizations have came together to benefit small and marginal farmers using the advanced technologies, using the up-to-date technologies. They can be, as I told you, AI, machine learning, blockchain, internet of things. All right. And which are these two organizations? World Economic Forum and the think tank of India, that is your Niti Aayog. Next we are talking about Jito Connect. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has virtually addressed the Jito Connect 2022, that is was a global summit in Pune. I repeat, recently Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a summit that was Jito, and it was addressed in Pune. Now, from this topic, the things that you need to remember, first is the full form of Jito. That is your, what is the full form of Jito? It stands for Jain International Trade Organization. Where was this Jito Connect 2022 conducted? Third thing that you need to remember, second thing that you need to remember is the location where this global summit was conducted. It was in Pune. It was a 3-day summit that was held from 6th to 8th of May, and it was one of the largest and coveted global summit. Then you need to know the theme of it. The theme was Together Towards Tomorrow. I repeat, the theme was Together Towards Tomorrow. This was the theme. And who launched this, or who virtually addressed this summit? It was virtually addressed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Theme was Together Towards Tomorrow. What was the name of the summit? Jito Connect 2022. What is the full form of Jito? It is Jain International Trade Organization, and it was conducted where? It was in Pune, Maharashtra. It was a 3-day summit, and it was from 6th to 8th of May. Next we are talking about world's largest glass bottomed bridge. I repeat, which country has recently opened the world's largest glass bottomed bridge? It is your Vietnam. And what is the name of this bridge? It is either White Dragon or Bach Long. This is the name. Bach Long, or White, also known as White Dragon, is the name of the world's largest glass bottom bridge that was opened up by which country? It was opened up by Vietnam. If we are talking about how long this bridge is around 632 meters long, and it is 150 meters above the jungle. That means it is 150 meters above the height and 632 meters long. It surpasses the 526 meter glass bottom bridge that was of China. All right, it will surpass the highest bridge. It was 526 meter glass bottom bridge in China, and now it has surpassed and became the world's longest glass bottom bridge that was opened in the Vietnam. What is the name of this bridge? As I told you, it is Bac Long, and it is also known as by the name White Dragon. And where is it? It is in Vietnam. Next, if I ask you a question, which is the first state in the country to offer breakfast in government school? So you have to name the state in India that is offering and that has become the first state in the country to offer breakfast in government schools, and it is your Tamil Nadu. Who is the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu? M.K. Stalin. And recently, if you remember, Tamil Nadu was the state that has observed 14th of April as your Equality Day in the memory of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So the correct option here becomes option second, Tamil Nadu. Moving on. Next, if I ask you, recently, if you remember LIC, that is your Life Insurance Corporation, their IPO was released. What is IPO? Initial Public Offering. So the IPO of LIC was subscribed nearly 3 times, and government has raised around 21,000 crore rupees. I repeat, an initial public offering of Life Insurance Corporation, that is the India's biggest public offer, was subscribed around 2.95 times. You can say it was nearly 3 times subscribed. This will help the government to raise around 21,000 crore rupees. Apart from this, with this IPO, the government has diluted its 3.5% stakes in the LIC through the offer for sale, that is your OFS. If we are talking about LIC, who is the current chairperson? Mangalam Rama Subramaniam Kumarji is the current chairperson of LIC. And where is the headquarter of LIC? It is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So remember, which was the largest, or you can say which was the India's biggest public offer of which company? It was then IPO of Life Insurance Company. Moving on. Next, we are talking about Express Car Loan. Which company is offering Express Car Loan in 30 minutes? It was launched by HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank, a private sector lender, has introduced a 30-minute Express Car Loan. This is an end-to-end digital new car loan solutions for both the existing as well as non-customers. The bank has integrated its lending application with automobile dealers throughout India. This facility will be offered at all the bank branches, dealerships, eventually on the third-party aggregator platforms also. So, who launched this Express Car Loans? It was launched by HDFC Bank, and 30-minute car loan. It is just you will be getting loan for your car in just 30 minutes. All right. Then if we are talking about HDFC, who is the MD and CEO? He is Shashidhar Jagdishan is the current Jagdishan is the current MD and CEO. HDFC Bank was established in 1994 and the headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. The facility will be offered, as I told you, at bank branches, dealerships, eventually on the third-party aggregator platforms also. Next, we are talking about UPI. UPI stands for Unified Payment Interface. Recently, according to NPCI, it stated that UPI saw a number of transactions, that is 5.58 billion transactions was recorded. I repeat, this was the highest record, and India has recorded a 5.58 billion transactions of UPI. That was, if we total them into rupees, they will be around $9.83 trillion. 83 trillion rupees of transactions was conducted by UPI itself. And these many transactions, that 5.58 billion transactions, were recorded in the month of April. This is the highest ever number of transactions that are recorded by UPI. Then before moving on, the monthly UPI recorded, the data that we are looking, a record saw of 3.33% increase in the transactions volume in March 2022. In March, it was around 5.4 billion transactions. That has increased by 3.3%, and now in April we saw 5.58 billion transactions through UPI itself. Also remember, UPI has breached the $1 trillion mark in the transaction values in the financial year of 2022. Do remember this data also. Also remember, if we are talking about digital transaction, India is on the top position that saw a highest ever, that is 40% of the global digital transactions are done in India itself. This data also you need to remember. Next, which is the first Indian company to cross 100 billion annual revenue? Easy question. Which is the first company to cross $100 billion in annual revenue? Apart from this, another question that can be asked, which is the first Indian company whose market cap, that is your M cap, is above $250 billion now? Which is it? It is your Reliance Industries Limited, RIL. Correct option is option 2. Moving on. Next, we are talking about Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer Prize is recently awarded. It was the 106th edition of the Pulitzer Prize. First thing that you need to remember. It was the 106th edition of the Pulitzer Prize that was presented in the year 2022. It was presented in journalism, books, drama, music, and special items were also given. This time, there were 4 Indians who were awarded with this award. Alright, remember, there were 4 Indians who were awarded with Pulitzer Prize. That was the 106th edition of the Pulitzer Prize. Apart from them was one person, if you remember, who died in Afghanistan. He was a journalist. His name was Danish Siddiqui. He was from Reuters. I repeat, Danish Siddiqui. Late Danish Siddiqui, because he died in Afghanistan. He was also awarded with Pulitzer Prize, this time in journalism under the feature photography category. Question can be asked, who was the person who was awarded, or who was the journalist who was awarded with Pulitzer Prize for his dash category, who died during the Afghanistan. So under photography category, Danish Siddiqui, who was from Reuters, was awarded with Pulitzer Prize, that to 106th edition of the Pulitzer Prize in journalism. If we talk about other 4 Indians, Adnan Adibi, Sanan Inshad Matto, Amit Dev, and late Danish Siddiqui. These are the 4 persons from India. These are the 4 Indians who were awarded with this Pulitzer Prize. Then, the Pulitzer Prize, as we know, it is administered by Columbia University, that is in New York, USA. This is considered one of the most prestigious prize in the US journalism, which recognizes the work of 15 journalism categories, 7 art categories, and 1 special citation. If question asked to you, 4 options are given, Pulitzer Prize is given in which field? So always remember that Pulitzer Prize is given in the field of journalism. This award is related to journalism. Alright, this is important term that you need to remember. Then, if we talk about the Pulitzer Prize special citation, these are also important. The journalists of Ukraine were recognized with the 2022 Pulitzer Prize special citation for their courage, endurance, and commitment to the truthful reporting during Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We know there is a war going on in Ukraine. So all the journalists of Ukraine, those who are working right now, because of their courage, their endurance, their commitment to provide the right news to report during this Russia's invasion of Ukraine, they were awarded, they were recognized for their effort to provide an accurate picture of the reality, and due to which they were provided with the special citation. Alright, do remember this also. Apart from this, if we talk about Pulitzer Prize, how this prize was started or who started this prize, then you should also know the information. Pulitzer Prize was established by Joseph Pulitzer. He was an Hungarian-American journalist and a newspaper publisher. He left money to Columbia University upon his death in 1911. A portion of his inheritance was used to fund the School of Journalism in 1912 and established the Pulitzer Prize. This Pulitzer Prize for the first time was awarded in the year 1917. Alright, so Pulitzer Prize was started in the memory of an Hungarian-American journalist and a newspaper publisher. He was Joseph Pulitzer. And when was the first award of Pulitzer Prize given? In 1917. In 2022, remember, it was the 106th edition of this Pulitzer Prize that was presented, and from India 4 Indians were presented with the Pulitzer Prize. Next question now. Which country has proposed a European political community for countries hopeful of joining the European Union? Tell me, which country proposed a European political community for countries hopeful of joining the European Union? It is your France. Who is the president of France? And he is appointed as the president for the second term recently. He is Emmanuel Macron. He suggested building a border political community of democratic states around the European Union that would allow democratic union nations to find a new space for political cooperation, security, cooperation in energy, transport, investment, infrastructure, etc. Also, it will include Ukraine and other countries like Georgia and Moldova, who are currently occupied by Moscow's troop or who are currently occupied by Russia. So, indirectly, can we say that they are hoping to include Ukraine into European Union? Coming back, next, Bangalore-based Bellatrix Aerospace has tested a green satellite propulsion. What is green satellite propulsion first of all? This green satellite propulsion, basically remember recently Bangalore-based Bellatrix Aerospace, they have tested a new kind of fuel for satellites. This new kind of fuel for satellite is more efficient and it will provide a better 20% efficiency than earlier hydrazine. Hydrazine was the fuel that was earlier used by the satellites to remake them into go into the orbit. So this rocket fuel hydrazine was N2H2. First of all, remember this. It was a poisonous substance that will have a negative impact on the environment. So in order to avoid this negative impact on the environment, Bangalore based Bellatrix Aerospace has tested green satellite propulsion fuel that will make the environment less poisonous, and this green propellant has significantly reduced the toxicity compared to hydrazine, making it easier to store as well as handle. This creates new fuel which is eco-friendly and which is also a non-hydrogen based fuel. Just remember, and what is hydrazine? N2H2. Alright, so as we know, Bangalore based Bellatrix Aerospace has tested India's first high performance green propulsion system for satellite that cuts a new path for hydrogen dependent fuel system and offers a potential of to 20% jump in the fuel efficiency for space satellites. Earlier we used to use N2H4, that is a hydrogen, that is a poisonous substance that affect negatively on the environment. Moving on. Next, we are talking about Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has launched one of its kind Kalam website to encourage vernacular literature. I repeat, first thing you need to remember, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla sir has launched a first of its kind platform, that is Kalam website. What is this Kalam website? Now question can be asked, Kalam website was launched by whom? It was launched by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. And what is the use of this, or what will this Kalam website do? It will encourage vernacular literature. Alright, about Kalam initiative, we talk about this Kalam initiative. This was initiated in 2015 in the cities of Jaipur, Rajasthan and Patna, Bihar. It was to popularize, this Kalam initiative was launched to popularize your Hindi literature. It was a platform for veteran and young authors and poets to talk about their writings and love for the vernacular literature. So recently on 8th of May 2022, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has launched one of its kind literary initiative, that is Kalam website of the Prabha Khaitan Foundation to support and encourage the vernacular literature. This initiative is on the lines of the philosophy, that is unity in diversity. Its sessions are insightful, inspiring, enriching and enjoyable. If we talk about this Prabha Khaitan Foundation, it is a non-profit trust foundation founded by the late Dr. Prabha Khaitan in the early 1980s. This Prabha Khaitan Foundation, alright. Also, it is dedicated to for promoting arts, culture, education, literature, gender equality and women empowerment. And their tagline is Apne Bhasha Apne Lok. So this Kalam website was launched by whom? Om Birla sir, who is the Lok Sabha Speaker, and the aim was to encourage vernacular literature. If we are talking about Kalam Initiative, that was launched in the year 2015, it was to popularize Hindi literature. Alright, as we know, Kalam Initiative launched in 2015 in the cities of Jaipur and Patna. It was launched to popularize Hindi literature. Next, if we are talking about obituary, that means recently legendary Santoor player and Padma awardee Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma has passed away. I repeat, Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma is related to which player or which instrument he used to play? Santoor. He used to play Santoor. Remember this, Shiv Kumar Sharma. He was a Padma awardee who recently passed away in Maharashtra. He was born on 13th of January 1938 in Jammu Kashmir, which is now Jammu and Kashmir. Alright. He also played music for several films including Chandni, that was released in 1989, Silsila, that was released in 1981. Then remember, Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma is well known for his efforts in shifting the santoor, that is a traditional instrument of Jammu and Kashmir. Other way the question can be asked is, because we know Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma passed away, so he used to play santoor. Now the question can be asked to you in exam is that santoor is an instrument of which state or union territory? It is of Jammu and Kashmir. Alright, then as we see, he received Padma awardee. He received Padma Shri in the year 1991. Then he received Padma Vibhushan, that is the India's second highest civilian award in 2001. And for what field he received this Padma Vibhushan? It was in the field of arts. Padma Shri was also awarded to him in the field of art. Moving on. Next, we are talking about book. The Struggle for Police Reforms in India. I repeat, The Struggle for Police Reforms in India. Rulers' Police to People's Police. This book was authored by whom? This book was authored by Prakash Singh. I repeat, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has released the book, that is The Struggle for the People Reforms in India, and this book was authored by whom? Prakash Singh. Prakash Singh is if we talk about Prakash Singh, remember, Prakash Singh in 1996 filed public interest litigation in the Supreme Court for the reforming of the police. So this book, that is The Struggle for the Police Reforms in India, Rulers' Police to People's Police, this book was authored by former IPS Prakash Singh, and this book was released by whom? Vice President of India. He is M. Venkaiah Naidu ji. If we are talking about police reforms in India, in 1996, as we saw, he is the person who filed public litigation. Next question is, by selling 3.5% stake in LIC, what is the total amount to be raised by the government? We saw this question. Alright, we saw this topic earlier in this video. So how much percent, or by selling 3.5% stake in LIC, what is the total amount to be raised by the government? What was the total amount? It was 21,000 crore rupees was to be raised by the government of India by selling a 3.5 stake in the LIC. And recently, which is the biggest ever initial public offering, that was of which company? LIC, Life Insurance Company. And this IPO was subscribed by 2.95 times, or roughly you can say it was subscribed 3 times. Next, we are talking about World Portuguese Language Day. It is observed on 5th of May. I repeat, World Portuguese Language Day is observed on 5th of May. Then World Password Day was also observed on 5th of May. And this was the 8th edition of the World Password Day that we observed on 5th of May in 2022. What is the reason for World Password Day? As to make your password strong so that there is a no or less chance of hacking. Next we are talking about Azure Power commissioned Assam's largest solar power project with 90 megawatt capacity. I repeat, Azure Power. This organization has commissioned the Assam's largest solar power project with 90 megawatt capacity. Alright, where is this power project? This is in Assam. If you remember Assam, in Jorhat, we are making India's first pure green hydrogen making plant. This was set up in Jorhat, Assam, and the organization that is setting up this is Oil India Limited. So Azure Power has successfully commissioned this 90 megawatt solar power project in Assam, that is the largest in the state. So friends, this was our session. Now let's discuss some important one-liners and revise all the current affairs of today's in one go. Death rate in India was increased by 6.2% in 2020 as per the CSR report. What is CSR report? It was the Civil Registration System report of 2022. According to this, the registered births has decreased by 2.4% in 2022 and the registered deaths has increased by 6.2% in the 2022. Next was your Green Health Alliance that was launched by Catalyst Group along with USAID and Office of the Office of the PSA, that is your Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, along with USAID. They have launched Green Health Alliance, and what was the reason? To reduce the carbon footprint in the health sector, this Green Health Alliance was launched. Then third was your World Economic Forum and Niti Aayog will be focusing on the emerging technology to benefit small and marginal farmers. Fourth was MOU between CDOT and Indian Railways to supply local gear worth 2100 crore rupees. Question can be asked. There was an MOU between Indian Railways and along with organization, it was CDOT, to supply local gear worth 2100 crore rupees. PM Modi virtually addressed JITO Connect 2022, a global summit in Pune. What is JITO? If I ask you, JITO stands for Jain International Trade Organization. This summit was held in Maharashtra. It was a 3-day long summit that was from 6th to 8th of May, and it was one of the largest and coveted global summit. What was the theme? Together towards tomorrow. Sixth topic was Vietnam opens world's largest glass bottom bridge. What is the name of the bridge? Bac Long. This bridge is also known as by the name White Dragon. Next, LIC IPO subscribed 2.9 times. Remember it, 3 times. Then government has raised 21,000 crore rupees by selling their 3.5%. Next, HDFC Bank has launched industry first digital new car loan by the name Express Car Loan. That is, they will be providing car loan within 30 minutes. Then UPI saw a record of 5.58 billion transactions worth 9.83 trillion rupees in the month of April 2022, which was up by 3.3%. That was in the March same year. Then 10th was related to Pulitzer Prize. 4 Indians were awarded with the Pulitzer Prize, and remember, important one is late Danish Siddiqui of Reuters, who was awarded with in journalism because he was the person who died in Afghanistan, and to remember him, he was awarded with this Pulitzer Prize. Next is Mindtree and L&T Infotech to amalgamate to form LTI Mindtree. Remember this. Which two organizations will amalgamate to form LTI Mindtree? It is your Mindtree and L&T Infotech. Next, Bangalore-based Bellatrix Aerospace test green satellite propulsion, and they will be not using which type of fuel now? They won't be using N2H2, that is your hydrogen. Next is Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla sir has launched one of its kind book, that is, they have launched a fun of its kind website, that is Kalam website, that was to encourage vernacular literature. So in order to encourage the vernacular literature, who launched Kalam website? This was launched by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla sir. Alright. Then legendary Santoor player and Padma awardee Pandit Shiv Kumar Shankar passed away. Santoor is related to Jammu and Kashmir. This instrument is related to Jammu and Kashmir. Then Vice President Venkaiah Naidu released the book The Struggle for Police Reforms in India, that was authored by ex-IPS Prakash Singh. International Day of Agrigenia is observed on 10th of May. World Portuguese Language Day on 5th of May, World Password Day on 5th of May, and Azure Power has commissioned the Assam's largest solar power project with 90 megawatt capacity. So friends, this was everything for the today, and I hope you have enjoyed the session. Now let's shift to your homework part. First question. Which company recently became the India's first fintech-led NBFC factor to receive the Certificate of Registration under Registration of Factors Regulation of Reserve Bank 2022? Second question. Which of the following companies recently launched the world's first crypto-backed payment card named Nexo Card along with Nexo Company? Third question.
In April, the central government amended the forex exchange management rules for 2019 to allow dash of foreign direct investment in the Life Insurance Corporation of India. Fourth, which organization recently created a resilience in sustainability trust to help the vulnerable countries? So these are the 4 questions that are your homework, and I want all of you to comment below. I am seeing that hardly few students are commenting the answers below, which is not justified. So I want at least 50% of the population who are watching this video, I want you to comment below the answer of this, because it will be helpful for your revision only. Alright friends, so that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed the session, and if you want us to continue with such session, I want you to comment below. I hope this session was very helpful and you have gained multiple informations in today's session. Thank you. Also, if you have any trouble regarding login or payment or any other issues, then you can reach to us on our mail, that is support@affairscloud.com, or you can call us on the number 9677333862, and we'll resolve your issue as soon as possible. Also, you should go and check our courses that are available at a very reasonable price, and that will help you to boost your preparation.